Motional EMF. Now, motional EMF is EMF which is produced due to the motion of a conductor. Now, we know that Faraday's law. According to Faraday's law, when there is a change of magnetic flux, then EMF is produced. And the EMF is rate of change of magnetic flux. And here the negative sign is given by the Lenz law. Now, according to Lenz law, the direction of induced current will be in such a way that it will always oppose the cause of the creation of EMF. So, since it is the opposite, so there is a negative sign. So, using the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction and Lenz law, we can write EMF is equal to minus d phi b bata dt, or that is negative rate of change of magnetic flux with time. Now, to find the motional EMF, we have three methods. Now, I give the method number 1. Method number 1, we are having a magnetic field, and magnetic field is uniform field. The direction of magnetic field is perpendicular to the board inside the board. Now, here we consider A, B, C, D, a metallic frame in the U shape, and its resistance is very small. We put a wire PQ on it. The length of wire is small l between these two ends, and the position at any time is x, means CD, this is equal to x. So, when the rod is, PQ rod is at rest, then what will be the magnetic flux? The magnetic flux will be equal to V dot A. So, magnetic flux will be equal to phi B will be equal to B dot A. A is the area vector. Area vector is a scalar quantity, but area vector is a vector quantity. Its direction is perpendicular to the area. So, here B and A are in the same direction, so it will be equal to B into A. So, magnetic flux BA, phi B will be equal to B into area. Now, what will be the area? Area will be equal to length into breadth. This is the length, this is breadth. So, this will be equal to B into L. So, it will be equal to B L into X. Now, we differentiate with respect to time. D phi bata dt is equal to B is constant, magnetic field is constant, the length of rod PQ is constant, and X is changing when it is moving with the velocity V towards inside or towards A to B. So, d phi bata d is equal to B into L. B is constant, L is constant, dx bata dt. And so, it will be EMF will be equal to minus B into L dx bata dt. Now, dx bata dt will be equal to minus velocity, because x is decreasing. So, minus dx bata dt, we can put this value V. So, the EMF will be equal to BL into V. So, in this way, we can find the EMF on this wire PQ, and that will be equal to BL into V. Now, in the essential condition that here magnetic field B, length L, and velocity V, all should be mutually perpendicular to each another. If they are not mutually perpendicular, then we have to take the component. But this is the maximum value of EMF when B, L and V all are mutually perpendicular to each other. If any two of either B or L or V, either two of the three, they are parallel, then induced EMF will be equal to 0. So induced EMF will be equal to 0 when either B is parallel to L or L is parallel to B or B is parallel to V. In that condition, the EMF between P and Q will be equal to 0. Now what will be the induced current? Now we can find the induced current. Induced current will be equal to EMF what resistance. EMF is equal to BVL divided by R. So this will be the induced current. Now direction of induced current can be found by the Fleming right hand rule. This is the right hand rule. This is Fleming right hand rule. So we have the thumb, forefinger and central finger perpendicular, mutually perpendicular to each another. If forefinger represent the direction of magnetic field, thumb represent the direction of velocity, then this will be representing the central finger will represent the current. So here the induced current will be from P to Q, the direction of induced. So once I again repeat it, what is the Fleming right rule? According to Fleming right rule, if we stretch forefinger, central finger and thumb mutually perpendicular to each other, then if the forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field, the thumb represents the velocity, then the central finger will give the induced current. So here B is this direction, B is this direction. So induced current will be from P to Q. So here we can find the direction of induced current. So the induced current will be equal to BVL by R, where R is the resistance of PQ wire. Now what will be the induced charge? Now we know the current is equal to dQ by dt, and the electric EMF is equal to d phi B by dt, and R dt cancel. So dQ induced charge will be equal to d phi B by R. So the induced charge does not depend upon X or L and V. It only depends upon the change of magnetic flux and the resistance of PQ wire. So this is the first method by which we can find the motional EMF. Here we have considered a rectangular rod ABC, which is the conductor rod, and we put a resistance wire PQ, which is very thin and it can easily move on this track, AB and CD track, and it moves with the velocity V. Then the induced EMF between P and Q will be equal to BVL. B is the magnetic field, L is this length, and V is the velocity. Now here the essential condition is both should be perpendicular to each other. Now method second. Now in method second, we are having again a constant magnetic field which is pointed inside the board, perpendicular to the board and inside the board. We have a rod PQ. Now when the PQ rod is stationary, then it contains positive charge and negative charge. It is neutral. So the total positive charge is equal to total negative charge. But if we move it with the velocity v in this side, then electrons are free. The Lorentz force will act on the electron. Lorentz force is equal to QV cross B. Lorentz force on the electron will be equal to QV cross B. So here V and B are mutually perpendicular. So theta is equal to 90. So it will become QVB, and the direction of this force will be from Q to P. This force will be acting, and this force will be equal to from QVB, and this will be the force act. Now, since this force act on the electron and electron is free, so electron will move in this direction, the direction of force. So electron will move in the direction of force. What will happen? So electron will move this side. Electron will move from Q to P. So here there will be deficiency of electron. Here there will be more electron. So P will be negative and Q will be positive. So when it is a positive and negative, then the concentration of positive charge will be more at Q and negative. So electrical field is produced. The direction of electrical field will be from Q to P, from positive to negative. Electric field will be from Q to P. So the force on the electron will be Q into E. Now Q into E and F will be the electrical force Fe will be in the opposite direction of force due to the Q into E. Both are opposite. So on the equilibrium, when these two forces are equal, then there will be no more movement of the electron, or the charges will be here totally negative and positive. It will be positive end, this will be the negative end. So in the equilibrium, the Q into E, this force due to the electrical field, will be equal to the force due to the Lorentz force Q into V into B. Q cancels. So E is equal to V into B. Now we know that electrical field is potential divided by L. So the EMF here E divided by L. So we can write E is equal to EMF will be equal to E into L. So EMF will be equal to E into L. So E into PPL. So this is the second method by which we can find the EMF between P and Q. Q will be positive, P will be negative. The direction of current will be same. Find with the help of Fleming left hand rule. Magnetic, it is moving this side. So what will be the current? This is this side, moving the current will be this side. So the induced current will be in this direction. Now we can find the Mostel EMF by third method. Now in third method, if we have a conductor and conductor is placed in the magnetic field, then the force on the conductor will be equal to, if I is current passing through it, L is the length and B is the magnetic field, then the force will be equal to I into L cross B. L is vector, B is vector. Now L and B are perpendicular, so it will be equal to LB sin 90, so into L into B. So this force will be equal to I into L into B. Now if the displacement is D, then work done will be equal to E into D. That will be equal to FLB into distance. Suppose we take X. So we take X. Or D is whether D ले लो आप. So current we can write Q bata T. This is equal to L into B into D. So this is equal to Q V B and D bata T. That will be equal to plus T. So it will be equal to Q into L into B into V. Now the electrical potential or electrical EMF will be equal to work done but a charge. So this is divided by Q. So this will be Q will be cancelled, so it will be equal to L B into V. So we can find that there are three methods. We can take any method by which we can find the motional EMF in the conductor. Now Fleming right hand rule I have told earlier. Now if the rod is not moving at constant velocity when B is perpendicular, if B is not perpendicular to the V, if the angle between B and V is theta, if theta is angle between B and V, then we can project the V in the direction of magnetic field and perpendicular. So in the direction of magnetic field कितना हो जाएगा? It will be equal to V cos theta and perpendicular कितना गया? V sin theta. So as I told you earlier that when the magnetic field and velocity they are parallel, then the EMF is zero. So EMF will be zero due to the V cos theta. It will survive only due to V sin theta. So the EMF will be equal to B into L into V sin theta. So this will be the EMF if the rod is moving with velocity V with the magnetic field. Here the direction of velocity is not perpendicular to the magnetic. If it is a perpendicular, then put theta is equal to 90. Again it is equal to BLB. So we can find the EMF on the rod when it is moving with the constant velocity, perpendicular to the magnetic field or at any angle, then we will have this formula. Now we have to find the motional EMF due to the rotation of rod. Formerly we have done the rotational due to the motional EMF due to the linear velocity. Here the rod is moving with angular velocity omega. Then we have to find the magnetic then we have to find the EMF across its end. Suppose the length of the rod is L and magnetic field is perpendicular inside the board, and this is the hinge, and about this hinge length is L and it is rotating with the velocity omega in the anti-clockwise direction, and we have to find the EMF between its two ends. Now we can find the EMF by taking a small element dr of this rod which is at a distance r from its hinge. Then what would the EMF across this end? EMF is equal to BV into L. So यहाँ पर क्या हो जाएगा? It will equal to BV into dr. So the small EMF between the ends of dr length of this rod will be equal to BVR. Now we know that from circular motion the velocity of this particle V will be equal to R into omega. So the velocity will be of this segment or this element will be equal to R into omega. So dE will be equal to B into R omega into dr. So this will be the small motional EMF across dr. Now what will be the total EMF? So we use the integration. So total EMF will be equal to integral. By taking integral here, then now we know that B is constant, omega is constant. So we take outside, then integral from 0 to length L into R dr. So इंटीग्रेट करेंगे तो क्या R स्क्वायर बाई 2. सो क्या हो जाएगा? L स्क्वायर बाई 2 माइनस 0. सो B L स्क्वायर ओमेगा बटा R ये वैल्यू आ जाएगी. So we can easily found the value of EMF in this case. Now we can have also second method. Now this is the rod, the length is L and this is the hinge and it is rotating then this radius will be equal to the length of this rod and rotating with the angular velocity omega. Now what will be the magnetic flux covered by this total? The magnetic flux will be equal to B into pi r square. Magnetic will B is equal to B into A. Now B and A are area vector. The direction of B and A vector are parallel. So theta is equal to 0. So this will be equal to BA cos 0 will be equal to B into A. Now area covered will be equal to pi r square. So magnetic flux will be equal to B into pi r square. Now we have to find the rate of change of magnetic flux. So we differentiate it. Or the rate of change will be, this will be the, in one cycle, the change of the magnetic flux will be this much. This will be change in magnetic flux in t time. T is the time period, means T is the time for one circulation. So T is the time period. So the rate of change of magnetic flux will be equal to the change in this will be the change in magnetic flux, and this is the time taken. Change in magnetic flux कितना मिला है? 5b will be equal to b into pi r square. तो यहाँ पर लेंथ की r की जगह l आ जाएगा pi l square. So this will be change in divided by the time taken. Time taken is this. So we know that time period is equal to 2 pi bata omega. So we substitute value of the time period here. So EMF will be equal to b into pi r square divided by 2 pi bata omega. Pi cancel. So this will equal to omega b l square bata 2. So we will get the same result. So you can find the motional EMF of the rod which is rotating with the omega. Angular velocity will be equal to omega b l square bata 2. Either you can use this method, and this example is very important from examination point of view.